Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I am so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We're here to support your professional growth in this amazing industry. You know, we all understand that learning never stops, but the real question is, how do we make training actually work? That's what we're going to dive into, practical knowledge you can really use. So, let's start with a big question, one I'm sure we've all thought about. Why does so much corporate training just fall flat? We've all been there, right? Sitting in a session that feels completely disconnected from our day-to-day jobs. Well, the reason they often miss the mark is that they forget one crucial thing. Experienced professionals like you aren't just empty vessels waiting to be filled. You're collaborators in your own growth. To create training that really sticks, we have to think beyond those traditional top-down methods. The secret, really, is to embrace the principles of adult learning. It's a whole different philosophy that truly respects the unique mindset and motivations of professionals. It's all about understanding how we as adults actually learn best.
And this slide right here shows the contrast perfectly. On one side, you've got pedagogy, that's the model for teaching kids, where the learner is seen as dependent. But on the other side, we have andragogy, that's the framework for guiding adults. And the difference is huge. It assumes you're self-directed. It recognizes that all your experience isn't just background noise, it's a rich resource, the very foundation we can build on. The whole focus shifts from just learning a subject to actually improving your performance on the job.
Okay, so if experience is our foundation, what's the engine that drives us? It's all about motivation. And for professionals in hospitality, that motivation is worlds away from what drives a typical student. It's not about getting a good grade. It's about seeing tangible, real-world growth. This path to motivation is all about results you can actually feel. First, there's that drive to master a new skill, right? To gain the kind of competence that gives you real confidence. Then, you've got to see how that skill makes a difference, making your guest interactions smoother, your problem-solving faster. And of course, that all leads to the ultimate goal, advancing your career. We're talking about the recognition, the security, and the growth we're all working towards.
So, knowing what motivates us, how do we put that into practice? Well, we can break it down into a few key principles. Think of them as the building blocks for any training that's going to engage people in a professional hospitality setting.
So here are the core ideas. First and foremost, you have to acknowledge and build on the experience people already have. Don't ignore it. Second, the training has to be practically relevant. Like, how can I use this on my next shift relevant? It's also so important to encourage self-direction, to let people be active participants. And finally, you have to accommodate different learning styles, because, let's face it, we all absorb information in our own way.
And that brings us to this really powerful concept, experiential learning. This is not about memorizing theories from a book. It's about learning by doing, and then taking a moment to reflect on that experience. Think about it. Role-playing a tough conversation with a guest, or workshopping a real service recovery scenario. This is what connects learning directly to the dynamic real-world environment of a hotel.
Now, having all the right content and principles, well, that's only half the battle. The environment where the training happens is just as critical. You know, a culture of growth doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be built, piece by piece.
An optimal learning environment really stands on three pillars. First, psychological safety. This is huge. It means creating a space where everyone feels safe to speak up, to ask questions, to maybe even fail, without any fear of judgment. Second, constructive feedback. It needs to be specific, immediate, and always focused on the behavior, not the person. And third, flexibility. We have to offer options that respect the reality of crazy work shifts and life outside the hotel.
So when you put all of these pieces together, the right mindset, the right principles, and the right environment, something really incredible starts to happen. The entire dynamic of training shifts. It stops being a one-way street and becomes a truly collaborative journey.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Think about the old model. The trainer stands up there and lectures, and the learner just passively receives it. But in this new partnership model, the trainer's role totally changes. They become a facilitator, a guide. And you, the learner, you become an active participant. You're co-creating the entire learning experience.
This quote just sums it all up perfectly. A learner-centered approach isn't just some nice modern idea. It is the absolute key to unlocking genuine, lasting improvement in performance. It's how we achieve real excellence in our industry.
So, as you move forward, I want to leave you with this question to think about. As a future leader in hospitality, how are you going to champion this idea of partnership? How will you help build those environments where you and your teams can truly thrive and grow together? Thank you.